Yeah? Oh yeah, got it on. That's cool. I'll try not to talk too loud because this is really a sensitive mic. So hi, how you guys doing this morning? Yeah, good. Not quite awake yet. Coffee hasn't quite kicked in. So we're really happy that you're here. I know I was introduced a couple of times at the new faculty orientation last week. I'm Lori Temple, and I'm the Vice Provost for Information Technology. Today, what we've done is we've put together a group of experts to bring in to talk to you about the kinds of things that we think that you don't know that you need to know for the first couple of weeks of classes, and most importantly, some faces and some contact information for the things that are going to happen as the semester rolls on and you need more services from us. You'll know how to get them, you'll know the faces behind who's providing them, but we want you to get off to a good start. So my introduction is short so they can talk. So first up is Deanna, and she is going to talk about help. Oh, watch those P's. She's going to talk about help.
I am going to talk about how to get help with a lot of things. I'm Deanna. I am a Client Services Manager, and one of the things that Client Services does is we run a help desk. So anything that you need technology-wise, if you just pick up the phone or email us or come by, ask the help desk. It may or may not be something that they can help you with. Even if they can't help you with it directly, they're going to tell you who can, okay? So the help desk, we have 2 locations. One is in the Student Union, 2nd floor. The other one is in CBC B, okay, 1st floor. And we are open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So even if it's a holiday and you're using that time to catch up on some things, the help desk is there for you. We have students, an intern. We have a lot of students working there. So sometimes a student may not be able to help you immediately with what you need, but they'll escalate to someone else. Okay, so it is important. We like to tell people these are students that are answering your calls sometimes. So keep that in mind. Just about any technology issue that you have, if you need software, if you need help logging in, if you just need to know if we have something, if you need to know how to get a hold of something, just call us or come by, okay, or email us. We have training also. If you want to attend training, you can check the website. And instead of /help, it's /training. We have in-person training, and we also have access to lynda.com, okay, which is online self-paced training. So if you have general questions, if you need training, anything you need. And along the way, multiple times, we're going to tell you if you need more help with that, call the help desk. If you need more help with that, call the help desk. We'll repeat that over and over again. And the phone number is probably on here somewhere as we go along, but it is 895-0777. It's in your handouts. You'll see it on the slides. You'll see it on our website, 50777. This could be your best friend. So one of the things that you may need help with along the way is all of the accounts that we have. Wow. There we go. At UNLV, there are multiple accounts, and you will have multiple usernames, multiple passwords. The good news is we're working on that. We are making huge gains in consolidating your usernames and passwords here. So one of the very first things that you need to make sure you have, if you haven't already, is the ACE account. And you'll hear us talk about the ACE account. You'll see it again in the flyers and handouts. And that username and password is used for multiple things. So you need to make sure that you have your ACE account. And as we go along, we will be adding more and more systems to that ACE account so that many systems use the same username and password. And we are working on that. We're, again, making huge gains in that. So make sure you have your ACE account. If you haven't received your ACE account information, call the help desk. We can help you get that. Okay? You also need to make sure that you've activated your campus wireless Wi-Fi. You have to have the Rebel card first, and then you go to the website oit.unlv.edu/wireless, and you can activate your wireless. Wireless access is in most buildings on campus. It is not absolutely everywhere. And we have some coverage outside, but it's not, usually it's just bleed over from a nearby building, okay? But we do have wireless, and please use UNLV Secure. UNLV Guest is available. You don't have to log in, but it is limited. So if you use UNLV Secure, you'll use your own login, and it's a little speedier and more secure. Yvette's going to talk about our course management system in a few minutes, but we also have faculty webpage accounts if you just want to get an account to create your own website. Okay, we have the course management, but we also can give you an account just to create your own website here on campus. And again, with all of these accounts, your ACE account, your mail account, your web campus account, your wireless account, all of this. If you need assistance, if you're confused, if you forget your passwords, whatever, please call us and we'll assist you. Okay, that's what we're there for. The last thing that I want to mention before we move to the next section is the email account. I'm too short for this thing. I heard Lori talking to some of you earlier about the email system that we have on campus. The entire campus is currently in a transition from Lotus Notes to UNLV Mail, which is Google. Okay, it's Gmail and all the associated Google apps. You guys are lucky because we're just going to start you off on UNLV Mail. You don't have to use Lotus Notes and then transition to UNLV Mail. Your colleagues will be extremely jealous because you already get to use this and they're still on Lotus Notes. So they may ask you, why do you get to use that already? Just smile like you know someone and it'll be fine. But there may be some challenges since you're on Google and your colleagues are still on Lotus Notes. You may experience a few little challenges there. And it's just because you're on two different systems. The rest of the campus will be completely on Google, hopefully by mid-October. We hope. But we are in the midst of that transition. So, and again, they might indeed be a little jealous that you're already on it. So, the students are also on Google. Theirs is called Rebel Mail. So employees are on UNLV Mail and students are on Rebel Mail. But it's just two separate Google domains. You can still share and collaborate with your students across those domains. So they're using Google Apps also. You're using Google Apps. You can set things up and share and collaborate with your students even if they're on a different domain. However, you won't see them in your address book. Okay, you'll have to get their email addresses separately. Okay.
I've got a question on behalf of some faculty. Some of the faculty, either the departments didn't quite understand that they could get Google, or they started before we started giving new accounts.
Yes.
Those faculty also now have, because of the new faculty, a Google and can go to Google and just use UNLV Mail?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we have at least one person in here that had that, a couple, three, okay. So
I was told yesterday that I had to wait until October for my Google Mail to work.
Yes, we just recently let campus know, Trish, maybe last week, we let campus know that all new employees are just going to use UNLV Mail. So some of them may not be aware of that yet. They may still be under the impression that you have to use Lotus Notes and then transition. Because, yeah, we just recently communicated that we weren't going to make new people go through the transition. Now, some of you may find a situation where you have to use Lotus Notes, and we'll help you do that. But the majority of you should be fine just using UNLV Mail. But, yeah, they just may not be aware.
So if they've started on that, they call a help desk and say, how do I get to my Google Mail? If for
Yes.
some reason they started on Lotus Notes, they call the help desk?
Yes.
Has anybody called the help desk and not gotten help with that? I think that's the question.
Yeah, yesterday I actually talked to somebody.
And they may have told you, too, you have to wait until, yes.
October because my account was requested in May.
Oh, okay. Oh, because that was before, so it may not have been automatically provisioned.
But I didn't get a provision until July 1st.
Okay. Before we leave, I'm going to hand you my card, and we'll make sure that you can use UNLV Mail from the beginning. Yeah, because if yours was requested that early, may have gone through the regular process instead of the new process. So it may not be provisioned. But yeah, we would rather you go ahead and start using UNLV mail so that you don't have to migrate.
Will the email account change?
The email address itself stays the same. We just have it going to both accounts right now.
Anybody else have UNLV Lotus Notes questions? Yeah. Go ahead. It's a good time to ask them. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I do have the Lotus Notes.
Oh, you have that.
Okay, so you'll need to.
Yeah.
So if you want to transfer, I would really recommend that you transfer.
Right.
There's nothing you have to do in October because your mail's going into your Google account. If you don't clean it up in Lotus Notes, you're not cleaning it up in Google. So it's already transferring. It's there already, and you just basically have a second email account that you're not paying any attention to. So better that you're paying attention to the UNLV mail account instead of the Lotus Notes account.
Right, because as you use Lotus Notes and you put things in folders or delete something, that's not being reflected in your UNLV mail right now. So all the mail is just going in there and sitting there. So you may just, want to go ahead and start using that. And we can help you do that. Yeah, it's just kind of a new thing that not everybody's aware of yet. So if you haven't used Google before, we will be offering training. Okay, in a couple of weeks, the training will start on Google. For campus, we're going to offer a lot of campus training in September, but we'll go ahead and offer some early as well. Okay. It's not. It's only in 2 weeks, isn't it? 3 weeks? My goodness. Any other questions before I hand it over to Yvette? Yvette's going to talk about our course management system. Any other quick questions? Okay, we'll take more at the end if you think of any. Okay.
I think Mark's going to talk for a few seconds.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Castlehut. I'm the e-learning technology coordinator, so Blackboard falls under my auspices. I, like you, am pretty new. I've been here since March. So one thing I can tell you, beginning Monday, watch out for all the kids on skateboards. So if you aren't familiar with the campus here, it's a big thing here. It took me a while to get used to. Dodge around. So our learning management system, Web Campus, is our branded version of Blackboard. So we are on Blackboard Service Pack 13 for those of you who might be interested in that. For those of you transitioning from another type of campus that has a different learning management system, please feel free to ask us questions. If you have already familiar with Blackboard, you may be familiar with a different version. So as you well know, every campus has a slightly different version of their learning management system. We have different blocks than other places, so and different processes. And Yvette's going to talk about that here shortly. But please feel free to ask questions, and of course, please feel free to make suggestions, changes, and requests for new features or for additional functionality. We'll do the best we can to accommodate those and address those with you. We continually seek to improve and upgrade, and we're going to be doing another upgrade over the holidays. That's when we do our upgrades. So we'll be going to the next version of Blackboard over the holidays. So I'll turn it over to Yvette, who's our Yvette Aki, who's our Web Campus administrator. She handles day-to-day administration, application, and support for Web Campus. So.
Somebody can move the slide forward.
So many.
There we go. There.
Okay. So typically, Web Campus is used for fully online courses to deliver through online education, but our face-to-face courses will use it as a supplement to either upload course materials like your syllabi, handouts, things like that. There's also different tools such as online discussion boards. If you want to deliver your tests electronically, you can use Web Campus as well. You have a little handout that's a quick guide for instructors on how to get started. Part of that is what your username and password is. Currently, it's your NSHE, so that 10-digit number, and by default, it's your birth date. Starting with our identity management project that's coming down the line, we're eventually going to change that to your ACE username. So we'll make announcements once that happens. Our target date is for the spring, so be aware of that change coming. Some procedures to be aware of with Web Campus is everything happens automatically. We're integrated with My UNLV, which is the registration system. All courses are created in Blackboard or Web Campus. If you're enrolled as an instructor, you'll automatically get enrolled in the course in Web Campus. Your students' enrollments also happen automatically. So once a student enrolls in a course, at the top of the hour, we run enrollment updates, so they'll be put into the Web Campus course at that time. So if you don't see your course, if you've logged into Web Campus, you don't see your course listed, it could be that you're not assigned to your sections yet in My UNLV. So I would direct you to your department's administrative assistant, and then they can enroll you in the course. If there's some kind of issue with them, you can also call the help desk and request access. We can verify that you're teaching and manually enroll you if we need to get you started for the semester. So if you don't see your courses, don't wait until the first day of the semester to get access. We can give you access if we need to. There's some of you that haven't been assigned an NCID too, so we've... Okay, so we've been creating temporary accounts, so you don't have to wait to get your courses ready if you're doing a lot of stuff in Web Campus.
How many we're going to use first name system? Excellent. The number goes up at 3.
So yeah, if you contact the help desk, we can get you started at least. We have a regular maintenance period that's every Saturday, 12:01 a.m. to 6 a.m. So just be aware of that. The system may go down for maintenance during those times. In addition to calling the help desk for support, so Deanna mentioned an intern. They're actually Web Campus interns, so they are experts in Web Campus. So if you have any questions, if it's at 10 at night, we're there to answer your questions. But in addition to calling the help desk, we're offering open labs here in the library on the first floor. Our regular schedule throughout the semester is every Friday from 9 to 11, but we're offering additional open labs starting this week, and I'll show you the website that has information on that. So you can come in, no appointment necessary. You can work on your course. We have laptops available. And if you have a question while you're working on your course, we can answer that question for you. So let me show you, do we have time for me to show Web Campus? Okay. So let me show you Web Campus real quick, maybe. So this is the main Web Campus page. After you log in, this is what you'll see. And I'll try to navigate as I talk in the microphone at the same time. But you'll see the My Courses list. This is where you'll see courses that you teach. And then here's a little module for the Web Campus support site. So feel free to look through this website. We have tip sheets on how to do things in Web Campus. And then also here, the information about the open labs. So we have one today actually from 3 to 5, and then we have another one this week, and then a few more next week. But feel free to use this site, and then if you get stuck, give us a call and we can help you. Any questions about Web Campus?
Also, if you like self-help, linda.com can at least get you the basics, not our system, but at least the basics in Blackboard. So if you're just trying to figure out how to do a thing, and it's after 11 and you don't want to call, you can go to linda.com, but then also wait till 7 in the morning, try again, call somebody.
Did I miss anything? Okay. Oh, classes become available. So we enroll the students ahead of time. So we typically build courses, so 3 months in advance, 4 months in advance. So you'll see your courses and your students in there, but they don't get access until a week before the semester starts. So they got access on Monday. You can make your course unavailable, but that's our timeline for release to students.
Okay, Daryl. Daryl's going to talk about classrooms, labs.
Oh, it advanced to software.
Hi, everybody. My name's Daryl Ludy. Been with OIT for a long time, so almost 25 years. I'm the veteran almost. So I'm here to talk about the classrooms and labs. So those two groups report to me. Our classrooms on the UNLV campus, all of them have technology in them. Well, all of the general purpose classrooms that you would probably be assigned to all have technology in them. The technology is you've got a kind of a podium. You've got a rack with audiovisual equipment in it. We've got a PC there. So all the classrooms have PCs, so you don't have to bring a laptop if you don't want to. All of them have document cameras, and so if you bring materials and you want to show your students, you just turn the document camera on, and then whatever's on underneath the document camera will get shown on the projector. We have connectivity for laptops, so if you bring your laptop in, you can show your laptop on the screen. We still have actually VCRs in our classrooms, so we have VCR DVD combo players. So hopefully you guys don't have any sort of VHS media that you use in your classes, but if you do, we still accommodate. I think that's pretty much it, the connectivity for our classrooms. Most of our classrooms have microphones similar to this, so you have a voice amplification system, and then all of them have speakers for the program audio. So we still have whiteboards, not too many chalkboards left. We have a help desk specifically for our classrooms, and so if you are having problems during your class, most of the classrooms have phones in them. If you call the 895, oops, not on there, 895-0771 number, that'll get you to classroom support, and they are typically there from 7 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. So typically when the classes on campus happen. We also offer training, and so we try to make our classrooms relatively easy to use. We designed this room as well, and this one isn't quite as easy to use as our general purpose classrooms. But if you walk into the classroom, you've got a couple of different control panels. You've got typically a touch panel where you turn the system on and you select the source that you want. You lower or raise the volume. You can use the pick mute button. So control panel's really pretty consistent from classroom to classroom. We have a couple of different control systems. One's kind of a push button and one's a touch panel, but the design looks similar. And so hopefully you can just walk into the classroom and use it. That's our goal, that you don't need any training. But if you do need training for some specific reason, if you want to use some advanced function or you're unfamiliar with the document camera, you want to use that, just call that same number. They can schedule a time for training when there's an when the classroom isn't being used. So they'll meet you in your classroom and they can help you with that particular system. So that's kind of it for the classrooms. I also manage the labs on campus. So we have the general purpose labs that your students might use to complete their assignments. So if you give them some sort of technology assignment, if they don't have, most students have computers at home, but often they don't have the kind of software maybe that you want to use in your class. And so a lot of times they'll use the software that's specific in our labs. So we have general purpose labs. We also have computer teaching facilities. So if you find yourself teaching a particular technology where you want to have the students get hands-on experience and follow along with you, we have facilities that you can use for that as well. Most colleges have at least one teaching facility that their faculty can reserve, and so that's made available. Each college has a computer facility supervisor that you can call on, and so each college typically has one or two teaching facilities or maybe a special lab that their students use, and this person manages that particular facility. So you can call on that person if for some reason you need some software installed, you can call on that person, or if you have just a technology question that you want to get to know this person a little bit better, they can help you with that. Some of those questions might be directed to the help desk, but some of those questions that person can answer as well. So I'd get familiar with that person. Yes.
I'm going to use the iClicker. Do I need to register that through the classroom or through web campus?
There's a couple of ways that you can do that. So within the iClicker software, and I think there's a new version of the software out yet. I don't think we're pushing it out to faculty yet. But you can, enroll the students yourselves through the iClicker software as long as you have a list of the students. You can do that, but you can also, we have the Blackboard plugin, whatever that's called, Blackboard building block installed for the iClicker software. And so the benefit of that is your students can register themselves in Blackboard. There's Classroom Technology Services, the 895-0771 number I called, they have a person dedicated for iClicker support. So you can talk to that person. They can help you get that building block set up for your course. Then your students will enroll their clicker. And then it's more automatic. So, they're automatically registered. Then you can just download the roster. And then you can have everything sync. And then you can then have that quizzes and attendance. You can have that go right back into Blackboard. So, yeah. Did I miss anything? Yeah, we still have phones. I mentioned that before. We still have phones in the classrooms, most of them. We just installed some new classroom. Well, we made some upgrades to some existing classrooms. We've got almost $1 million to make a lot of upgrades in our classrooms. So we put a digital connectivity in a lot of our classrooms. But I didn't see a phone, so I got to find out about that. Let's see. Yeah, I covered that. Marlock card. So everybody has a Marlock card? Okay. So you'll need that to get into the general purpose classrooms. So hopefully, Marlock card.
You have one of these in your listed as faculty and staff that get you in touch with the
If for some reason you find you do need a teaching facility, you can contact your administrative assistant in your department and they can work with the scheduling office to find a teaching facility. I think almost everything's booked now though, but for next semester maybe. If your students go to the ROIT website, they'll show a listing of the labs that we have, the locations of the lab. We have like 10 general purpose labs on campus as well as the software that's available in those particular labs. And that's it. Yes?
I got an email about using iPads in classrooms.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of a secret. Shh.
I got an email about
So one of the things we're doing is I'm probably going to set up a training session on Thursday, so I'll probably send you an email. One of the things that we're doing is we've made some improvements in our network infrastructure in regards to the wireless, as well as some improvements over in the College of Education building. And so Young Kim, he's a computer facilities supervisor. He's a gung-ho guy, so he's been installing a product called Air Server, which is basically, it's kind of an Apple TV emulator. So you can basically take your iPad and you can mirror whatever's on your iPad to this Air Server, which is then connected to the projector in the classroom. And then you can just walk around with your iPad and the image is on the projector. The other thing we're doing is we're looking at a product called Doceri, which is kind of like, it's like a smart board, but it's an iPad that's a smart board. So you connect to the PC or Mac that's in the classroom, and then you can annotate right over to the top of the iPad, which connects to that screen. And so it's, you're basically doing a smart board kind of thing right on the projector. So you'll be getting an email from me probably today about that. So. Yep. Shh.
Is there a login for the classroom?
There isn't, yeah. So you just if for some reason, most of the classrooms that you go into, it'll just be on. The desktop will be up and you just use it. If for some reason some weird thing's going on, just restart the machine and it logs in automatically. At some point, we're looking at changing that. The issue is we're still working on that authentication, the identity management. So most people have ACE accounts. Probably the part-time faculty take up probably at least a third of our teaching faculty, probably even a little bit more than that. And just to try to get them those ACE accounts and get them to know about it. I think at some point they'll know what those things are. And then as soon as that happens, we'll start making authentication required in our classrooms. But right now, no. Yeah.
All right. Deanna's coming back to talk about socks.
The last item that I want to talk to you about today is software. Your department will probably provide you with a computer. It's kind of decentralized as far as obtaining computers. Your department takes care of that for you, and then we build it, and we put a standard set of software on that for you. Everybody gets Office, for example. If there are additional software titles that you need, please start by looking at the list at that oit.unlv.edu/software. That gives you a list of all of the software that we provide in some way. Doesn't mean it's necessarily free. It just means that we will help you obtain it and install it. Some of them we support. Some of the software titles will tell you, yes, we can help you get it. We don't really have a support structure for it. Some of them we offer training for, others we don't. So that page just explains all of the software titles that we do help manage, obtain, install, support, or train on in some way. And it'll tell you, for example, SPSS. If you need that, there is a cost associated with it that your department will cover. It's a very small cost compared to what SPSS usually costs. We'll install it for you. We don't offer training on SPSS. We just don't have the resources to do that at this time. Whereas Office, we offer that for free, full training. So every software title has a little bit different services attached to it. So check out that. Sometimes it may not be something on that list, but you might contact us anyway, the help desk, and ask about it because we may know where you should obtain it for the best price or educational pricing, etc. Sometimes it's just telling you the process of getting the software. Sometimes getting the software through our contract takes a few steps, and we have to follow purchasing rules. That's probably the most important, is following purchasing rules on the software. So we'll help you with any of that, whether it's us installing it or helping you purchase it or helping your department purchase it. So check out that site. So always start there, and then contact the help desk if you have additional questions or if you want to request it, etc. Because your computers will only come with a standard set of software, and we have a lot more. As Daryl mentioned, if there's software that you want your students to use, it's all listed on the website. Each of the labs has a set of software also. So look at that site and let your students know, hey, you can go to this lab to use that software, so that they don't necessarily have to obtain it themselves. Okay? Questions on software at all? Anything you're wondering about already? All right, Lori's going to talk about security.
I get to be the cop. So we don't play cop too much in IT. We share responsibility with you for the security of our systems. And so I think I wanted to tell you about a couple of things that are really important for you to know at the beginning, and then you'll be hearing from us regularly about security issues, and we're starting a security campaign in the spring to keep you up to speed and refreshed on all of this. Two important policies to start with, well, actually three. As your desktop is set up, you'll have a login on your desktop, and please don't try to eliminate that. That would be against policy. It's very important that you have a login on your desktop. We're under some serious audit findings that suggest that if we don't have that, we're in big trouble. Please don't get us in big trouble, because we don't like to be in big trouble. And they take it out on IT. They don't take it out on you, I can tell you. So please don't disable that. If you need an exception for that, some of you will be working in your labs, and you cannot have your machine patching itself. You can't have it resetting itself in order to do its self-maintaining, because we do take care of that as well for you. All you have to do is put in an exception. All of our policies have an exception procedure, and it's really simple. You just put your name, make sure your department chair knows that you're putting in for the exception and proves that, and then we deal with that and work with you to try to figure out how we can keep things secure, even though you can't use some of the places, some of the ways that we lock things down. So that it's a computer desktop management policy that says you must have that. It also times your machine out. It has a screensaver that comes up automatically after a certain period of time, and you have to log back in. That's set for 15 minutes. We think that's reasonable. Some people wanted that set for 5. Some people wanted that set for never. We compromised at 15 minutes. So to try to keep, again, we do have some serious auditors who pay attention to these sorts of things. So that's all the desktop. Passwords are really important because we don't lock our network down as hard as a bank by any stretch of the imagination. We know you all do a different kind of research and different kind of studies and ask your students to do different kinds of things. So our network is a little wider open than some folks would like, but we do try to keep it as open as we need to for you all to do your work. And so we protect our systems. And so the most important thing about protecting our systems is passwords. So our password policy is 10-4. Anybody have any idea what that means, 10-4? Yeah, 10, length of 10 somethings, and 4 different forms, we call them. So uppercase, lowercase, number, special symbol. Most folks have a little trouble with 10-4. Some systems have a little trouble with 10-4. So our minimum is 8-3. So 8 characters, 3 form changes. So if you had a letter, if you had a number, a special symbol, and an uppercase, and 8 characters, that's a pretty strong password. We try to err towards have a strong password and try not to make you change it as often as others. We would like you never to have to change it, but our auditors say you should change it every 90 days. So we compromise and say you need to change it every year. So you'll get notices, or the systems will automatically tell you it's time to change your password. So not all systems are set up that way yet. They will be, but for now, some of them skate. So it's okay for now, but we will announce as we set those up automatically to change those passwords. So there is a password policy and some guidelines. And the last one that's really important, and the one that's kind of a catch-all, we have about 10 of these, but the one that I won't give you all 10, but is acceptable use. And it's a 5-statement policy, which is really short for an acceptable use policy, if you've ever seen one of those before. There's some context, and there's some background, and there's the balance between privacy and access, and all of that stuff's in there. But it's only 5 statements, and it's really simple. And so I'll show you the page where it is and ask you to just take a look at it and make sure you're familiar with it. Basically, don't do anything for financial gain. Don't invade anybody else's privacy. Protect the resource. That is, you have responsibility to help us protect those resources, passwords, keep the integrity of the system. Don't break any laws. And the last one, it's okay to use it for incidental use. So if you have to go make an airline ticket purchase, on your web using our network, fine. But if you're trying to start an eBay business, not fine. So if you're trying to do something real quick because you're at work, it's perfectly fine to use our network for that, and to use your email to get, refund, the receipts from whatever it is you're trying to do. But you can't run your business. So you have, unless of course you're doing consulting on a business university, and then there's some things you can do there, but you're a little early for that still. We won't bore you with that too much. But so we're protecting you by policy. We need your help with that. We're protecting the systems with passwords and other, putting them in certain places on our network. But the network is not as protected as it will be at other places. So we really need your help on those passwords and making sure you don't let other people into the systems because you've given them your password or made one so weak it was easy to guess. So that's policy and security at its finest. So the last part here is all about questions. And when we go there, what I'd like to do is, I wasn't planning on doing this, so let's see if I can pull it off. Did that open? Hey, all right, how do I get that open? There we go. And, I can't type. Can you type for me over there? Or I just wanted to get to the OIT webpage so I can click around. So Trish can type. Trish is our communications officer, by the way, so any note that comes out, she's the one who probably wrote it. Well, actually, she probably edited it after somebody else wrote it, but she's the one that usually sends it. While she's doing that, I just want to get to the website, Trish. While she's doing that, one of the ways, the main way that we'll communicate with you about things that are going on that matter, that are sort of not emergencies for sure, but if we're going to take a system down, we will send an email to UNLV official. If you've seen your mail, you'll see that UNLV official comes out maybe 2-3 times a day, different messages. OIT uses that to tell you, Web Campus maintenance period will be, Web Campus we tell you through Web Campus, but let's say that for some reason there's an outage, often it's a power outage in a building, and that means the network isn't working in that building. We will be telling everybody except the people in that building, because their email's down, that there's been a power outage and service in that building is down. So we'll be communicating with you by email through UNLV official, We also communicate with pop-ups and other kinds of messages within Web Campus for anything affecting Web Campus for faculty and students if there's going to be a planned outage or some upgrade or something else going on in that system. If the network is down, believe it or not, we resort to fax machines. More and more of those are ending up on the network, so that's getting harder and harder to communicate with you if the network is down. So fortunately, that doesn't happen very often. Okay, so here's our website. As we were going through the help today, all of those items we talked about are on the website. So I was just talking about policy. Yes, oh, there we go. So here's all of our policies and acceptable use right here. And we put them in we hope, digestible form. So instead of giving you the whole policy thing, which you can find over here, and if you want to see it in its approved form, we basically just tell you what the policy is. And for this policy, here's the first policy statement. And then in order to help clarify it, we give examples of what we mean. And this is a unique policy in that regard. But it's a very short policy. For every policy, you'll see that we have the reason for the policy, the people that are affected by the policy. Those are straight out of the policy that's been approved. And here's our exception form. Just click there. And for every policy, we have frequently asked questions. So if you're confused at all about any of these policies, all you got to do is go to this page. And if there's still questions, you can just send us an email and we'll get that answer for you. Here's the computer management policy and security policy. These are the ones that say you need to have your computer locked down and you have to log into it and you need to have screensavers, and we will be managing it on your behalf unless you have an exception. And then here's the password policy. So you can see the rest of them, but most of those are not anything you'll need right now. So we won't talk about those today. The classrooms, Daryl was up talking about the classrooms. Let me do this. Okay, this working? Okay, perfect. So here's a list of the classrooms, and you can go to any one of them and see what they look like. See what's in the classroom, and see what the classroom looks like, and who's got responsibility for it. In this case, this is a lab, so you can see what software is available in that particular lab. So you can go right here without ever leaving your home, click on your classroom, and see what's going on with it. But these are all the labs here. Let's go back to that page. Those are teaching facilities. These are all the technology enhanced classrooms here. Here's the information we were talking about the clickers. So a lot of the stuff there on the classroom technology page. The software page is a lot of fun. I like it best of all. If I can get there, search our database, right there. There it goes. So there's a lot of different ways to find out what software we have. You can just look, or you can search by whether it's available for faculty, staff, or students. Different licenses have different restrictions. You can search by free or not free, and discounted or regular pricing. You can search by operating system. There's a ton for Linux, but there's some. Or you can just plow away and see. You can search by a keyword, type in statistics. I won't do that here without a keyboard. So does anybody have an interest in something they want to know something about? We'll open that one up. Okay, well, how about SPSS? So let's say you have to do some statistics. Open that up. It'll take you right to the website. It tells you how to get the software. It tells you, what kind of software, who's it's available to, whether we support it or not. So we will install it and we will help you buy it. But we will not help you use it, and we don't have any training. So for every piece of software that we have listed, it'll tell you how we support you. So please go here first. A lot of people make the mistake of just going off and buying a piece of software that they need and don't know that we already have it at a discounted price. And you can end up paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars more for your software than you need to. In some cases, we have a site license, and you can get it for free to you. Not free to us, but free to you. So we've paid for it for the whole campus just to make it easier for everybody. So, and that would be something like our antivirus software, certainly Microsoft Office products. So that's, I think, a really good page. So now I think the last 15 minutes, really, we want to answer your questions. And we have everybody here who can help, and we can start with any questions that you have. Again, if they get too specific, we'll put you to the side with an expert and help. The expert can help you. But otherwise, we want to make sure that on Monday, all of you teaching on Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, first class Monday? Most of you Monday and or Tuesday. When you walk into that classroom, you're feeling comfortable that you're ready for that. And even if you haven't visited it yet, I would encourage you to go visit that classroom, make sure your Marlock works, make sure you know how all the buttons push on the device, all the devices in the classroom. And if you're having any trouble, if you try to do that this week, and you're having any trouble, Daryl and his team come out and give you a hand. It gets busy, so the sooner you do that, the better, because the help desk calls are already escalating. And I don't know, what's our first day of class, Deanna? Over 1,000 calls first day? Yeah, so, and first and second day is real bad, and then maybe by tapering off to the 700-800s by the end of the week, and maybe down to the usual 300-400 the following week. So you'll be in plenty of good company the first day of classes if you try to call a help desk. So we really, if you can do that now, we really want to try to get you guys set for the start of the semester. So please visit your classroom, make sure your Marlock works. If you don't have one, work with your faculty, or work with your department to get one right away so you can get into that classroom. So questions? Something that's going to make it just be a great first day for you. Yes?
Can I use the same Marlock key to unlock any classroom?
The same Marlock will work for every classroom. If you're listed as a faculty in our database, in the Marlock database, which you will be if you were put in that way. If you were a professional staff member and then moved to faculty, you might want to double check that. But this Marlock will work in every classroom. Well, mine does, because it works in fewer places than you think, actually. You think I could have access to the world, but I don't want access to the world. But this does work in every classroom. Okay. So you don't have to wear it like I do. I have to use this all day just to go see my staff, but because they're all locked behind doors. But you do need to keep this. If for whatever reasons you forget it, public safety, right? You still have to call public safety to get in. Yeah, it's a general rule on campus. You'll have to call public safety, and they'll come let you in. But that's going to take a while, so you'll want to be sure that you carry that with you all the time. And careful, they do break. So especially if you carry them around as much as I do. So watch that, and if they get close to breaking, get it replaced before you lose it. They'll charge you to replace it, actually. If it breaks, they don't charge as much. So, okay, so you can get in your classrooms. When you get there, we saw the classroom picture, you'll see that podium, and you'll be able to take your flash drive or your thumb drive, or you'll be able to take whatever it is that you use to deal with the content that you want to deliver. You're connected to the network on the computer there if everything's online. I would always prepare to have a backup in the event something happens. So most of you are probably pretty good on your feet, so you'll just make it work, but just a backup plan is always a good idea. So any other questions? If not, I'm going to ask you questions.
Research-related question?
Sure.
So I guess the first one, how do I get large amounts of storage?
How big is large?
Going to end up being terabytes.
You want to talk to Joe Lombardo in the Supercomputer Center. He's got some new resources just coming online, and he's got some existing resources. It's called NSCEE, National Supercomputing Center for Energy and the Environment. Joe Lombardo, you can find them online, or you can just find his phone number, and he'll be able to work with you to figure out what kind of storage, how much, how to access it, where it needs to be so you can access it successfully. So we can do a little in IT, but big stuff, it's best with him. It's more secure, it's easier accessed, it's faster, and it's on devices that are designed to hold large amounts of data. So what kind of research you do?
I'm a psychologist, so I
Okay. Videotape. Oh, you're running video over our network. It's so nice. There's no network people in the room right now. Okay, yes, definitely. You definitely want to work with him. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yes, video on the network is a challenge, so please do work with him. Yes, it takes a lot of storage and it takes a lot of bandwidth. And we get it. So you're not the only one. So, More questions, or I'm going to ask you. Okay, excellent. He is saving you guys.
So I also, my psychophysiology devices, like my heart rate monitor,
Mhm.
they're not wireless.
They're not.
No, they are.
Oh, they are. Uh-huh.
Am I able to put them on the UNLV secure?
I would, I don't know if they'll go on secure. We probably need to put you in touch with a network person. So write us a little IT help email. It's easier if you email this one instead of call on this one, because we'll get it right. And I think if you do that, put down sort of the details and say you'd really like to talk to a wireless expert, that will get you in touch with one of our wireless experts, and they can sit and talk with you about what's the best way to get those on the network. Okay? That's a great question, actually, and we're glad you're asking it, because we'd like to help you with that so that you're not struggling with it, end up trying to do something in a lab and it just isn't working for you. That's really not good if you're trying to get your data collected, so we don't want that to be a problem. Okay, any other questions? Uh-huh. Oh, the NG number, uh-huh.
I've done the verbal training twice, but somehow I get the thank you email, but somehow it's still not being generated, and that seems to be holding me back from getting.
If that's holding you back, write a note to PS Training, that stands for PeopleSoft Training, at unlv.edu.
And her email bounced back and said that she's on vacation.
Lori Cantwell? Well, I suspect she's not on vacation for too much longer, so school's starting. What? Is she?
You can email IT help.
Okay.
Just send it to IT help. Chances are you have your NG number. It just hasn't been provided to you yet. So just email IT help and we'll look it up for you. And we can escalate to that My UNLV support for you if you're getting a bounce back on that. Because I don't think they're using that email anymore.
Really? Okay. All right, so just write to the help desk, call the help desk, write to the help desk, we'll get that taken care of for you. Mm-hmm.
So I have an NG number,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to sign up to wireless yesterday with it, to get a secure wireless.
Oh, okay.
But when I go to get my Rebel card, they don't have me in their system.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. You don't have a Rebel card yet.
No.
How do you have an NG number? Oh, yeah, you didn't have to have a Rebel card. Yeah, you get the NG number, and so do you have something with the NG number on it?
I have it on a piece of paper.
On a piece of paper. It's probably it's not on your contract. Okay, Deanna. Post-it note. Oh, yeah, Rebel card's going to believe that.
Sometimes the Rebel card system can be a week behind. So as long as you have that number and as long as you can log in to My UNLV and Web Campus and you got your wireless, you have everything you need. At this point in time, that Rebel card is an ID that you can load cash on and get discounts and everything like that, but they can be a week behind. If a week from now they still don't have you in the system, something has gone wrong, terribly wrong, and somebody needs to fix that because of where they grab that data from. Sometimes there can just be little glitches, but sometimes it can normally take a week.
Yeah, the NG number is shared. It's an NG number, right? So you have a number for everybody in the Nevada system of higher education system has a number. UNR, University of Nevada, Reno, College of Southern Nevada is 45,000 students plus other faculty and staff, and so we have to check for duplicates when we create those numbers, and so the process can take a little while, and that's the week. That's what usually takes a week here to get that NG number into the right places, get it checked, make sure there's not a duplicate, and then get it into the right system. So it takes a little while. We're working on that. We're getting a new HR system. You guys will live through a new financial system and a new HR system in the next 2 years. But you didn't have to go through the student information system or the web campus transition, so be very happy. Yes.
Sorry, the only contact I have till now is ECE account, so no Rebel card, no entry number, no ID number, so I'm not able to log in and UNLV in the mail. And
Okay.
web campus and
So all of that you can call the help desk. Yes. Yes, you can call the help desk. They'll help you get into.
It sounds like you're in there, things just haven't been provided to you.
Right.
So you can even stop by the second floor of the student union, and we can help you get into all of those systems. If you
Yes.
You just don't know it. Nobody's provided it to you yet. So we can look all that up for you and get you into all of those accounts right then and there. And we can identify what's still missing for you.
Okay, so I need to come to you.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier if you can stop by.
It's fine if that works better for you.
And I
but
can stop by anytime.
You can stop by anytime. If you come by, that way we can actually get you logged into everything right then and there. So if you can stop by, great. If not, if calling works too.
Okay, I will come.
Second floor of the Student Union or the Classroom Building Complex, if you know where that is. Very tall building right near the library, just right over here. Very tall building. We're in the first floor of that tall building, just behind the elevator shaft. And that's the second location. Yeah. So there's either of those two locations. There's people there that can help you. Mhm.
My coworker and I began in the spring. We're wondering if the Google Mail is running parallel to our Lotus Notes program, as you mentioned, or
If you started in the spring, no, probably not. You're probably okay. You'll probably move when your department moves in the fall. Yeah, I think that will be easier for you. And I think if you started in the spring and you already have a Lotus Notes account, we probably have not provisioned you for a Gmail.
Good. Yeah, we just started that with new employees that were new as of July. July 1st. Okay.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, so you need help training on Microsoft Office products, prizes, if you get all three. 3 ways you can get help. Who thinks they can get all 3 of them? Help with Microsoft Office products on campus. Okay, who thinks they can get 1? Raise your hand. Where to help?
Lynda.com.
Yay, there's 1. Here's a little stress ball for you. 2? Oh, come on. Training. We have training for you. Oh, I just don't know how to do a mail merge, and I have to have it done in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Call the help desk. What's the phone number?
077.
There we go. 50777. Do not forget that phone number ever. I don't know what this is. It's probably something fun. These are all stuff we get from our vendors. We give it out because it's fun. All right. I'm having problems with classroom technology. What do I do? Okay, you wrote this down when Daryl was talking. Call from the classroom. And the number is?
5077.
Yay! Okay. All right, so here's a tricky one. Well, it's not really tricky. There's a phone number. All right. Oh, what is the other tricky one? Oh, okay, I'll just ask it. So, 10 minutes before class starts, you're trying to print out your syllabus. It won't print. Printer's jammed. 10 minutes before class.
Email your students at PDF.
Okay, well, that's a really good answer, but that's not what I had in mind. Yes, definitely. Okay. Let's see what else I got done here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got this cool thing. All right, so what else could you do? All right, just find another printer if you're actually having to print. We're not going to get there in 10 minutes, I can tell you. We don't have enough help desk staff in the world to get there in 10 minutes for a jammed printer. So find a colleague, put it on a flash drive, take it to their printer, and print it that way. Okay? All right, any more questions? Oh, you guys have been a delightful audience. We're so glad you're here. We hope this was helpful, and we appreciate. Oh yeah, we're going to give away a backpack, and we appreciate you coming because we know you're really busy and have a lot of things to do before school starts. All right. Okay. Who's going to draw? I'm not drawing. No, I'm not drawing. I'm not going to be responsible. You're drawing. I'm going to mess them up really good though. Okay, they're messed up really good. Yeah, a lot of delegation goes on in this department. A lot of delegation.
Robert.
Who's Robert? Okay, well, we got a number here. Let's make sure it matches. There might be more than Robert. Okay. 6002. All right. Robert. Yeah, it's a double authentication. You got to have the ticket. You got to be here. You got to have the right name. You know, it's secured distribution of the laptop. So this is full of wonderful things for you. So, yeah, it's full of wonderful things. So we appreciate you coming. What are you going to do if you need help? Ever need help with your IT? Not call Lori, that's not the right answer. Number? Yeah, put a 5 in the front of that, 5077. If you're off campus, 702-895-0777. What are you going to do if you're not satisfied with the help that you get from the help desk? Then we're going to call Deanna, we're going to call Lori, and we're going to tell us what happened, and we're going to try to figure it out for you. So, because we want the help desk to be your best friend and your most valuable resource. And if it's not that, we believe it is, and we have a very good reputation on campus, but the only reason we have that is because we fix problems when we find them. So please let us know if there are any issues.
This might not be the right. Where do we need the long distance international code?
Um,
Is that separate from all that?
yeah, we don't do phones.
Through your department, they
Yeah.
go to.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not the phone people. That's weird. Most campuses, the phone and network people on the same unit, but not here. We work very closely together, but we don't know the answers to those. Well, she does for lots of reasons, but we don't know the answer to those questions. I don't. So, all right, so the department will help you with that. And we're hanging around. So if anybody wants to come talk to us about an individual issue, come on up. Thank you guys very much for being here.
Thank you very much.